Welcome to Discover Greater Lansing. Whether you're exploring the rich history of the state capital or indulging in incredible local food, there's always something exciting happening here. Discover living. Discover mobility. Discover downtown. Discover giving back. Greater Lansing offers breathtaking activities and outdoor adventures, ensuring a perfect balance of city life and natural beauty. Discover the warmth. Discover the charm. Discover Greater Lansing. The journey begins now.
Hello and welcome back to another great show. I'm promising you that on Discover Greater Lansing. I have with me today superstar realtor Karen Way. Hello and welcome.
Thank you.
And I know that's your real title, but for those who
that's why I'm laughing
think they're a superstar too, what other working title can we use?
Oh my gosh. So I'm a real estate broker with eXp Realty, and I've been licensed in this area for 22 years. Wow. So having a lot of fun with real estate because I love Greater Lansing.
Yes, yes. We love Greater Lansing. That's why we're here. And we're going to take a little road trip, not too far. But when people think about home buying and communities, you know, a lot of times they just bypass downtown.
Sure.
And I love downtown. My business is downtown. My daughter's first home is in downtown. And it's not just apartments and studios. It's they're homes people can buy, right?
You are absolutely right.
Tell us about downtown.
So first of all, you know, we breeze by the Capitol and we forget about the fact that we're so lucky to live right here in the capital city and enjoy that history and how that's evolving our state and the whole bit. So, you know, that's really a cool part of it. And when I have someone that's coming in to take a look at a home in the general area, I always talk to them about the downtown area. It has more of an urban feel when you're right on Michigan. However, there are great homes that are like turn of the century homes, homes that have been built in the 50s and 60s, great like style in bungalows, 2 stories, just all kinds of neat stuff. And unless you start poking around down there, you forget about it.
Yes, absolutely. I think of the West Side. I have some friends with homes in the West Side. Talk about beautiful turn of the century, original wood, beautiful homes. We can't forget about Moores River Drive.
Right.
And they're not just the big, huge estates, but they're also affordable family homes. Colonial Village, on the other hand, all around East Side neighborhood. So just, you know, talk about buying a home and what are the pros of living downtown.
Sure.
Everybody, you know, I think it, first of all, it keeps our downtown very vibrant, keeps, you know, it's not just a 9 to 5 community, then it becomes a 24/7 community.
Absolutely.
And we even have our own grocery store.
Absolutely, you do. Absolutely. And you know, it is very important. And when we sit down with my team, we'll sit down with a client and talk to them a little bit about the lifestyle. What are you living now? What are you looking to change up or move out of your lifestyle? And you know, when you take a look at the downtown area, we've got beautiful parks. Look at Francis Park. You know, people will visit that and never regret the time that they spent there. Some of our tree-lined streets in some of these neighborhoods are absolutely beautiful. And what I like best about the Greater Lansing area, the downtown specifically, we have people that have been there for 40 years and we have people that have barely been there 4 years. So there's really a nice connection between a lot of different generations, and it just puts everybody together, and that's what community is all about.
Absolutely. So, you know, we have the big house at the end of Michigan, the Capitol building that houses our legislative bodies, but all around the region, it's a very, and each one has, I love the neighborhood associations. They roll up their sleeves, the neighbors come together to make their, like the welcome signs are beautiful everywhere you go. There's community gardens. You talk about a sense of community. When we have these pockets of communities all throughout downtown. And I'm really glad we're taking a minute because we'll talk about, oh, I want to buy a home on the Grand Ledge or Okemos or East Lansing, but remembering our downtown and reinvesting in that downtown. downtown is very important.
It is, and you know, our businesses are doing that, and we need to do that residentially. We have businesses downtown Lansing that have been there for generations, you know, and they make it fun. You look at some of our candy stores downtown, and some of just even our bars and restaurants that have been there forever. They're even named after families still in this town. So, and you know, another one that comes to mind is our famous pet store in the area, and you know, that type of business owner is making it fun and making it an experience to shop in downtown Lansing. So I don't care where you live, you should experience downtown Lansing. It's for all of us to share, and for the lucky ones that get to live there, bonus.
Absolutely, absolutely. Live, work, and play there. We had U of M Health Sparrow, which now I'm getting used to not calling it just Sparrow anymore, but they were on, and they are recruiting all the time for healthcare, their healthcare teams.
Absolutely.
And to be able to be right near, you don't have a lot of driving to get to your work, and you can be in a beautiful home right in downtown.
And you know, one thing I will mention, there are grants and financial opportunities for people to live in downtown Lansing that are not even advertised. So I really hope that our viewers reach out to me to explore some of those things, because downtown Lansing is committed to keeping the production rolling on just improving our area to work in and live in and play in. And there are free money opportunities for people that would live in downtown Lansing.
Absolutely. And we can't leave out my friends at the Lansing Housing Commission.
Sure.
Affordable housing is so important. No matter where you are at in your budget, to have a place to call your own home is so important.
Absolutely.
And so they are doing such great work in partnership with the city and MSHDA to make that affordable housing so everyone can have a home.
Well, it's the American dream to own, and Lansing's committed to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
so hey, don't forget, Lansing is the place to be. Downtown is great.
Absolutely.
So think about a home in downtown, but just really just down the river a little, just a little bit. We have Old Town, and Old Town brings with their festivals and music and arts and food, but people may not think about a home in Old Town.
Oh, sure. And you know, it's a smaller area to choose from, if you will, less homes to choose from. However, it is amazing, the opportunities, and it's kind of the same feel as Lansing. You've got a little bit of an urban feel with some of the new construction down there, but what's nice about the new construction in Old Town is they have protected the integrity of the old construction. So you have a nice collection of things to look at when you're shopping and walking the streets down there. We have some awesome restaurants down there. We also have some really nice places to shop, more of a boutique feel instead of a mall situation. So, and again, the downtown Lansing, Old Town, that is for us all to enjoy, and there are opportunities for people to buy there as well. And it's a great place to raise your family.
Absolutely. And you know, one of our biggest jewels is the Grand River.
I know.
And we're starting to expose it. So that this is a great asset. And who doesn't want to live on water? I mean, that's wonderful. And there's the river flowing right through beautiful Old Town for people to enjoy kayaking and boating and the music festivals that happen in the park there, and our community college kind of is in between downtown and Old Town. So
and I love the occasional fisherman off any of the bridges down there, and you know, it's never in my mind, when I see that person, it's never an event that I think was planned. It was just, I've got an extra hour, and they buy a little bit of bait and get the fishing pole out of their trunk and cast in that Grand River. That just, you know, I know it's relaxing for them, but it's relaxing for me to see.
To see it, just enjoying outdoor sporting like that. And it's awesome. So downtown we have Old Town. Now we do have to hop in our cars to go just a little southeast, and we're going to really maybe take a horse out there, but it's not that far. But we're going to Williamston, beautiful Williamston, and if you haven't been there in a while, it's got everything from theater to great eateries to beautiful golf to homes
It does. It
let's
really
reintroduce
does.
everybody to Williamston.
Well, Williamston is one of my favorites. And the reason why is because it's kind of a well-kept secret. And I'm trying to get that secret out because like any of my favorites, I want to share my favorites with my friends. Yes. So when I'm talking with people that will consider the east side of our greater Lansing area, I want them to go a little bit further east and look at Williamston as well. It's really a hop, skip, and a jump from Okemos. It's not that far, but the perception is it's out there a little bit, but it is so worth the drive. The homes are beautiful. We've got a nice collection in Williamston of the family homestead home that's been in the family for 120 years. Yes. And the farmhouse has been updated through the years, and people are still there from that same family. And then we've got brand new neighborhoods, and we have condos out there, which people do not expect when you pass a couple of farm fields on your way into town. But speaking of in town, in Williamston, beautiful boutique type shopping, nice restaurants, a very hometown feel, you know, with the big clocks on the corners and the flowers in the summer hanging from the light posts. Brookshire Golf Course and Restaurant. So there's just a nice little collection in Williamston that you are able to call home and be part of a community, but yet it's close enough that you can be part of that greater Lansing area.
Absolutely. I mean, you hop on the highway and you're that much closer to a Detroit or an Ann Arbor, and not, like you said, a lot of state workers. They're building beautiful homes out there or buying homes that are already built. And it's an easy commute. You know, they say there's, 2 seasons in Michigan, construction and winter. So sometimes you run a little of that no matter where you're at within the greater Lansing area. But the convenience, and some people want to get out a little bit away and then have their space where they can breathe. Williamston is certainly that kind of community where you can kind of come up for air, take a walk downtown, enjoy some wonderful theater that just they won a lot of awards at the Williamston Theater. So the arts are there, culture, food, eat, golf, everything you might want to do in a community.
It's multi-generational.
Right, which is, again, what I love so much. When old and young can come together, the older Michiganders or those in the area can share their stories, and maybe they have stories of what the town looked like back in the day, or when I was a kid, that wasn't there and that wasn't there. Right. And we have progress and we have growth, and it's all wonderful. So we've gone from great downtown Lansing, sometimes overlooked, should not be. Right. It's beautiful just to be right in downtown and feel the heartbeat of our region. To Old Town with its arts and just that vibe and boutiques and great eateries, like you said, great hair places too. I know that's where I go. And then to Williamston. So again, we've got this whole collection of communities really that makes greater Lansing the place to be. Now, have you seen, Karen, over time, you've been in the business a while. Yeah, just for a minute here. And do you see that people are starting to rediscover or discover for the first time this region?
You know, they really are. And what I'm noticing is people are coming home. And I think that that's really interesting when you take a look at the people that have grown up here, have had a great experience. They go off to build a career, and they do find a way to kind of trickle back in to this area. And again, you know, statistically speaking, we are a very financially fit community, which is wonderful. So investments here, real estate wise, I'm proud to be part of, because I know that people are really building assets, not liabilities, number one. Number two, and maybe I'm a little partial, but growing up in this area and choosing to raise my family here as well, the communities here are phenomenal. And each of our towns, we've talked about a couple of areas, and we threw in a town of Williamston. They all have their own, but then collectively they're connected to all of the other communities in this area that make up Greater Lansing. So we can be the capital city and have our focus on where we are, but then also have this great big group that we get to be part of and share in everyone's, you know, restaurants, communities in general, all of the fun things. So really you can be anywhere in this town in 20 minutes.
Absolutely. And you can have a house maybe in Grand Ledge one day and go,
right.
Hey, I'm getting older, don't want all this yard, whatever.
Right.
And I'm going to go to East Lansing and get
condo in East Lansing.
That's right. So, I mean, you can stay within the greater Lansing area. And what I found as a small business owner is that young talent will sometimes leave and they'll go to the Chicagos or the bigger cities. And then when they start settling down and have families and children, they come back home, like you said. And they have that family network and that community network. And it's a wonderful thing, and to bring that talent back to Michigan.
Right. Well, and one last point on that. What I love about our community is you can come home for a personal reason, but you don't have to give anything up because our hospitals continually update themselves. We've got new industry that comes into this area constantly. We're constantly updating and upgrading what our communities look like. So, you can basically come home and not miss a beat because of what Greater Lansing has to offer.
Yeah. Or you can come here for the first time, as I did 30, almost 40 years ago, and never leave. But
that's right.
Because you plant roots here, and it's wonderful, and it's my family. This community is my family, and we had some other shows where somebody was in need, and hey, I talked to Karen because I knew Karen knew someone that would help, and that's that whole vibe that's going on here in Greater Lansing, and it's what makes it so wonderful.
Sure.
So I ask everyone, and I just say, what is your thing? What if you were somewhere else or somewhere in the world and someone said, what is it about that you love so much about the community you live in?
Okay, so there's a lot of things that are like the typical answers, and I agree with all of those. I love our Impression Fives. I love a Capitol tour occasionally. I have a friend that works down there, and so I'll do that occasionally, even though I've done that a lot of times. It's really kind of fun to circle back. What I like to do, and I think it goes back to my industry, but I love to look at a lot of the old architecture. And so, I'm pretty famous for having my lunch in my car, and sometimes I'll get my lunch and then go park in a neighborhood near Old Town or down by the Capitol and just be able to sit on one of those tree-lined streets and just look around at the landscaping and the architecture. And we've got some really unique areas, and I try to treat myself to them as often as I can.
Well, coming to a bench near your community is Karen Way.
Yeah, just don't think I'm a stalker. I'm not a stalker by any means.
Anyway, a pleasure always
thank you.
Talking with you today.
Thank you.
Cheerleader extraordinaire for our region.
It comes easy.
It does, and we thank you for being an ambassador to so many people looking to either come to our region for a home or moving within our region. So thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
Realtor superstar and good friend. We look forward to talking with you again soon.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Margaret.
Hi there.
Can you tell us in what ways CATA is ensuring inclusion for our marginalized and underserved populations?
Absolutely. For several years now, CATA has contracted with Advent House Ministries to provide 2 advocacy workers at our downtown transportation center who focus on assisting our unhoused partners. As you know, our downtown transportation center is also one of many warming and cooling centers in the Capital City region.
What is the impact of the advocacy officers at the downtown CTC and in our region in general?
Yeah, the impact is that on a daily basis, our officers work with about 60 people every day, providing them a pathway to independence by helping them with employment opportunities, medical and housing needs, and providing resources such as food, shelter, and transportation.
Excellent. Can you share with us one of the most memorable activities or things that the advocacy officers have done that sticks out in your memory?
Yeah, so throughout the years, we've been fortunate enough to house up to 5 families who were previously struggling with homelessness or housing insecurity. And these workers have been dedicated to providing them transition into permanent situations. And it just shows their dedication and the love they have that we also have for our community.
And where are these advocacy officers located?
They have an office at our downtown transportation center on 420 South Grand.
Great. And they are there
We're there Monday through Friday.
Okay.
Our officers are there generally from 8 a.m. till about 6 o'clock p.m.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm with Dan Shanahan of Eaton Community Bank, and we're going to talk about credit today. So Dan, a credit score, it's very important to people. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure, and thanks for having me on, Karen.
Sure.
So having a good credit score can save someone thousands of dollars over the course of their lives. They're going to have lower interest rates on car loans, on their mortgage, on really any credit cards, things like that. So,
Nice. Okay. How do they find out what their credit score is and if it's even good?
Right, so there's a government-sponsored website, annualcreditreport.com, and you can log in there and you can pull your credit report without doing a hard pull on your credit. So that gives you a nice baseline to start off on figuring out a path to a good score.
Nice. And once they find out what that is, are they able to come in and talk with you about what their future plans are and what that credit score does to those future plans? How does that work?
Absolutely. So if you're starting out and you don't have a credit score, we have secured credit card products, we have credit builder loans, and those are things that someone who is starting out with no credit or maybe has struggled with their credit, they can use those tools to help raise that score back up.
Nice. And you're able to talk to them about timing as well in regards to how long before they can get a car loan or a house or any of that kind of stuff. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Good. Dan, thank you so much for being with me today. I really appreciate it. So what I'm going to encourage people to do is stop into your East Lansing branch and talk to you about credit, how they prepare and align themselves for the future. Is that a good idea?
That's a great idea.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you again for being with me today, and I hope that I hear a lot of good things about people that are stopping in to see you.
All right, thanks so much.
We're here today talking about an exciting indoor shopping experience that's opening up in the heart of downtown Lansing in the historic Atrium building. Middle Village shops are open with 5 unique retailers, and we're here today with one of them. Hi, Mary.
Hello.
Mary's from Ornamaloo. Tell me more about your store.
Well, we offer a curated collection of museum-inspired artifacts coming from their vintage, items coming from Meso and South America. We also have new items that are basically Michigan-based artists, and some food products.
Oh, wow. Well, tell me a little bit about the art. How does one go about collecting art?
Well, collecting things, you should always collect what you like and what you can afford. Things that you want to live with and things that have a story that inspires you. Trying to collect specific things, you need to become an expert on it in order to know whether you're spending too much or too little, and I think it's more important to have in your house what you like.
What you love, yeah, that makes sense. Well, tell me how people can find you. Where are you at?
I'm located at ornamaloo.com on Facebook and Instagram, and in Middle Village in the beautiful Atrium, former Strand Theater.
Former Strand Theater. I know not a lot of people know that, but our historian does, for sure. It's a beautiful, beautiful building, and we're so excited that you've decided to open your shop there. So if you want to learn more about Middle Village and the shops inside, go to shopsatmiddlevillage.com.
I'm with Kurt Fedewa of K. Fedewa Builders today. And Kurt, first of all, thank you for being part of the show. Really excited to hear your take on a few things that people are questioning right now. You know, people are looking around their homes and wondering where they could renovate or do something that is something fun for them, but they're worried about the dollar as well. So first of all, tell me, what's trending in the area?
Really what's trending is people staying in their own homes this year. You know, they're deciding they love their neighborhoods, they love their subdivisions, and you know, just where they live. And so they're choosing to stay where they live, remodel spaces within their home, or add on to accommodate, you know, another family member moving in, maybe a parent or something like that. But you know, kitchens, bathrooms, and basement finishes are really popular right now.
Okay, great. And how about, you know, dollar for dollar? Where should a person put their money if they want to renovate?
You know, really, we're finding a lot of people are putting money into their kitchens because that seems to be the hub of the home. People are spending a lot of time there with their family, with friends. It's becoming a hangout space. You know, open concept is getting to be really popular, or continuing to be really popular, but it's where everybody can get together. Nobody's being left out of a conversation or anything else like that. So really just, you know, opening up the spaces to each other and making it more functional for their families and when they get together with friends and so on.
Nice, nice. So I think I'm going to go home and take a look at my kitchen, maybe a bathroom or two, and decide what needs to be renovated. And I know that my investment will be protected.
Yes, it will.
Okay,
yes, it will.
Great. Well, thanks for joining me
You're
today.
welcome.
I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
The Lansing Regional Chamber is pleased to be part of Discover Greater Lansing, where we will celebrate and showcase the economic growth and assets that define our region. We are experiencing an extraordinary transformation with over $4 billion in new investment and thousands of new jobs. Placemaking, including the integration of arts, entertainment, and culture, plays a pivotal role in shaping our vibrant communities. Infrastructure is the backbone of economic growth, and we're seeing historic levels of investment exceeding $800 million, including the planned reconstruction of Michigan Avenue, connecting Michigan State University to our state capitol. As you embark on your journey to discover Greater Lansing, we encourage you to immerse yourselves in the unique experiences our region has to offer, support the small businesses that form the heartbeat of Lansing, and joining us in fostering an environment where innovation, collaboration, and prosperity flourish. Together, let's build a stronger Lansing.
Amy, thank you for joining me today. I know the Potter Park Zoo was one of Lansing's biggest attractions, and you received a grant from the Rotary Foundation of Lansing for the zoo. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Rebecca. This is fantastic. So we had the good fortune of being awarded $4,000 from the Lansing Rotary Club, and it helped us resolve an issue that we've had for quite some time. We had a hayride that we incorporated into some of our events, and it wasn't accessible to all. It was not something that someone who was in a wheelchair would be able to use. If someone was in a walker, it would be challenging. So the grant from the Rotary Club allowed us to be able to build an accessible hay wagon for the first time ever at Potter Park Zoo.
Oh, that's fantastic. What else is going on at the zoo?
We've got some pretty exciting things happening coming up this spring. We are going to have a grand opening for our new okapi exhibit. Okapi are from Africa. They're a very unique species. No other zoos in Michigan have them, so we're pretty excited to announce him to the community.
Tell me a little bit about the new animal hospital.
The animal hospital is going to be under construction beginning sometime this summer. We're in meetings right now talking through all the details, and we're really excited that we're going to be able to improve the quality of care and the veterinary facility at Potter Park Zoo.
And how does that enhance visitor experience?
I think the hayride enhances visitor experience in that it allows all to be included. The veterinary facility is going to be educational, so people will have the opportunity to learn about the level of care that the animals are given. And it will have windows, they'll be able to show procedures. It's going to be something that will allow us to interact more with the public.
What an absolute gem for our region. I'm so glad Rotary was able to be a part of it. Anything else you want us to know?
I just hope everybody can make it to the zoo this summer. We are looking forward to a fantastic season, and you'll see a lot of growth and a lot of changes.
To learn more about what the Greater Lansing area has to offer, go to discovergreaterlansing.com.
Wow, what another great show and another reason to discover Greater Lansing. So many wonderful things happening in our great, great community. From living, working, and playing, we've got it right here in Greater Lansing. Thanks for joining us.